Hi there kiddies, I'm Peter Batt and this is my thought for the day. In my mind, I have already rebranded the Daily Telegraph as the Daily Terrorist. And I think that more of you should do the same. Let me explain. The Daily Telegraph is owned by the Barclay brothers, who have a combined wealth of around £4.3 billion and who live in Monaco so as to avoid paying tax. Since they took over the Telegraph a few years ago, its editorial independence, even though it is on the right, its editorial independence has been called into question. And there are suggestions that it is becoming more of a sort of an advertorial sheet, so that it will represent the direct interests of its advertisers in preference to actually covering the news. And this is one of the reasons that right-of-centre journalist Peter Oborne resigned from the Telegraph earlier this year over its treatment of HSBC, one of its main advertisers. And the story around HSBC is interesting because the reason that HSBC has been in the news, or one of the many reasons recently, is because it was fined, I think, £1.4 billion last year for its involvement in transactions that allowed Hezbollah to receive funding for its terrorist activities. Okay, so, and when a lot of this stuff came up, when the news coverage of HSBC and these sort of like money laundering activities, it has either not covered it at all, or it's covered it in a way to minimise the crime. And what's more, it has used its pages to allow HSBC effectively advertorials. So these are stories that ostensibly are editorial, but are actually in support of HSBC. And you see, this is interesting because this shows the utter hypocrisy of the right-wing press, and particularly the Daily Telegraph, in its criticism of Jeremy Corbyn, the new Labour leader, for talking to terrorists in an attempt to find peace. And actually Hezbollah are one of those terrorist organisations that Jeremy Corbyn has talked to, or at least has tried to engage with. And so the way that the Telegraph and the right-wing press have responded, it would suggest that if you're a politician that talks to terrorists to find peace, to stop them from killing people, then that is really bad. That's really, really bad. But if you're a bank who's actually helping to fund them kill people, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Let them go ahead. And not only that, we'll promote these organisations because they're obviously doing such good work. And for this reason, this is why we should replace, as citizens, the name, the Daily Telegraph, with the Daily Terrorist. I think it makes sense. What do you think? Until next time, bye.